Tuesday, June 1st, and a very special good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Alan Hopkins, and as always, welcome to another program of the On the Tape on TV6. With me is the Superintendent of Police, Roger D. Alexander. What are you showing me?
I want you to arm yourself.
You want me to arm myself?
Yeah. See, not kind of bottle and thing around here. Go ahead.
I don't know what the gentleman is doing here. He's out of sorts. Yeah. He's out of sorts.
So listen, hold on. Well, since I received the vaccination.
Yes. And the whole world saw it. The whole world saw it.
Right, listen.
You need to explain this, you know.
Yeah, what happened is this, right? What happened is this.
What had happened was...
No. What really happened here was this, Marlon Hopkinson.
Look at the poor nurse.
Wait.
The poor nurse is whispering in your ear.
No. What she was telling me is that she said, close my eyes and intensify the moment. So that's what I did.
It looks very intensified.
Yeah, so what I did, she said, close my eyes, and it had nothing to do with the injection, Marlon.
What it was?
No, she said, you want to try something new? I said, yes.
You want to try something new?
Yes, I said, yes, Liz. She said, listen, as you're here, intensify yourself. So I went so, and then she said, okay, breathe and thing, and that was it, really, it was no sort of thing.
Well, let me tell you, I got a call, I got a text from the tippy top, you know. The tippy top, you know, as you would say, you know. Where you could overlook the whole of Port of Spain, and you're seeing sea and the Carney Plains and all kind of things. The tippy top, you know.
What you told you?
The tippy top. The people at the tippy top were concerned, you know. They were very, very much concerned. I was concerned too.
Well, I'm concerned. Let me tell you something. Let us be honest with ourselves. You know.
You what?
This
man
let me say this.
Boy.
Well, I being honest here. I have a little phobia.
But you never told people that?
Yeah, I have a little phobia.
Eh?
Let me tell you something, Marlon. Let me tell you something. I could do a lot of things. That is one of them that I have an issue with, right? No, the other one is this. Just imagine a police telling me this, right? I will go on the range all day. Nothing in my ears because I can't.
Right.
Long ago, we were having a Christmas at home.
Yes.
And Mommy would have bought some balloons.
Right.
Very big ones.
Right.
And I was blowing that.
Right.
And when it reached from over here to by the camera, it burst on the manner.
And what happened?
And I never blew a balloon again.
You ran.
You know, so that's certain things that, you know.
What happened?
That balloon thing, boy, after that was it. So, all right, I told you the truth.
Gosh,
I wasn't frightened.
I don't know. It's every few weeks with you on social media, you know. I don't know what coming next week or the week after, you know. I don't know.
Oh, man. But today, Marlon, let me just say this today. Today I had to...
But before you do that, because I know a number of persons who have been given the new injections from Sinopharm.
Right.
Have there been any side effects?
Well, I didn't get that one.
Yes.
But
you didn't get the Sinopharm?
No.
All right, okay.
But
okay.
Some persons they said they had minor headaches and fever and stuff. The only thing I have, man, I'll be honest with you, since I took that injection, I'm eating like a horse.
Okay.
And you're drinking every minute. You know, you have this kind of, you're feeling to drink water or something liquid.
All right, okay.
Other than that.
Well, I suspect persons are experiencing different effects.
Yeah.
I don't want to even call it side effects.
Side, it's not side.
All right, different effects.
Yeah, let me also say this to members of the public, and this is being honest. Sometimes we have fun doing things, and I've been honest with you. You know, we was having some fun with that whole.
Yes.
But the whole message behind it is that, you know what, we were willing to take it.
Yes.
Regardless of the risk persons were talking about, whatever, you know what I mean? We were willing to take it because we know that the importance of it at this time. So it was really an indicator to tell you, hey, you know what, Alexander did it, go get yours.
Yeah.
Simple.
And Saturday I was listening to the news conference being hosted by the Health Ministry, And as I was telling someone earlier today, in all of this darkness that some persons are seeing, but I'm seeing a glimmer of hope, and I'm seeing some light at the end of this darkness. Because on Saturday, it was announced that the government had made 2 payments. And these payments are geared at securing more vaccines for us in Trinidad and Tobago. And when I heard that, I'm just thinking as to what is going on in other countries of the world. And you're seeing in the UK where over the past 24 hours, because I saw something today on Instagram, BBC was reporting that there was not one positive case of COVID in the UK today.
Wow.
All right? And we're also seeing where some of the restrictions have been pulled back.
Yeah.
We're seeing persons going out there. We're seeing what is happening in the United States. That's not to say persons are still not getting COVID, you know. But we are seeing how the vaccine is changing life and having us returning to normal.
And if
So-
you want to go, Marlon,
Yeah?
take it.
Yeah.
And
So-
this is, as you were saying this, and this is for those who still have doubts, Marlon.
Yeah.
And you just said it, eh? If you're seeing that the world, or parts of the world, returning to normalcy, and you want that for yourself, then be part of that change, you know?
Yes.
You see?
Yes. So you have, so this vaccine, it is, I would say it, to me, it is the panacea to the problem that we have as it relates to COVID. And as long as the vaccine is available to you, go out there and get
it.
the vaccine. What is also happening in other parts of the world, and that is of concern to me, that while they have told persons who have received the 2nd dose of the vaccine, they're telling them that they can take off the mask. However, what is happening is that there is a mixture now of persons who
Did not.
who did not and who did.
Yeah.
And that is where the problem is. And as I keep on saying over the past, or I've kept on saying over the past few weeks, I feel this is going to be me until the end of this year. Because you just don't know who would have received and who would have not received it. And so that is my issue that I'm going to have to deal with. Just incidentally, I was looking at CNN last night and they were speaking about something called re-entry anxiety.
Right. I saw that.
Yeah, re-entry anxiety, and that is something that we in Trinidad and Tobago would need to have a serious conversation about. How do we return to normalcy?
Yeah. Are we
How
going
do
to
we
just
do that?
jump in the water
Yeah.
with our 2 feet?
Yeah.
Or are we going to test it one by one?
All right.
Because
So yeah,
I don't know.
we seem to be on the good path, on a good path. All right. But a lot of work still needs to be done. So with that, let me tell you about the infections. There are 405 new positive cases of COVID in Trinidad and Tobago. 405 new positive cases. And the samples would have been taken during the period May 24th to the 31st, May 31st, 2021. Just incidentally, the death toll has now risen to 507 deaths. This is, if we're talking about 507, remember yesterday it was 495. So if we are, so we're talking about 12 deaths, 12 new deaths.
You know, right now, Marlon, of concern, if you fall along on the roadway and you die from a heart attack,
Yeah,
people say it's COVID.
yeah,
If you, anywhere you go, anything that happens to you now that for some reason you die, it's COVID. I don't know. It seems to be the new thing. However, today, Marlon of concern,
Yes.
today, we went to Tableland to see a fellow police officer off on his journey. And a number of things came to mind, though.
Yeah.
For my fellow officers who still hesitant to take the shot, I suggest that you rethink that position. If not for you, for family, for colleagues, for country. Because, you know, a lot of persons still have this thought in their head or someone influenced them that something is so wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you see what's happening in outside countries, then something is so right about the same thing that you're saying is so wrong. And today I saw Sergeant Lyndon Jacob. We sent them off, Marlon, and I'll tell you this. It's a terrible sight. It's a terrible experience of family who loved one has died as a result of, and you can't even open the casket. You can't even get close to the burial area. You have to distance yourself, friends and family, because there's no hugging around here. You're weeping by yourself. You see? All this happening right before persons' eyes. You see persons sitting in cars, Marlon, and weeping. The only thing we have to remind us is a picture. And there are still persons who decided not to go and take the shot. So let me say this again, if not for you, and this is for my colleagues, if not for you, do it for your family, do it for your colleagues, do it for your country. Pleading with you. Yeah, I can't wait for another shot because as I said before, a lot of persons get a lot of different things. I was exercising, Marlon, the same evening. So I don't know, everybody different, right? So maybe not. Whatever happens, Marlon, you know, I just always say, you know, it's God's will at the end of the day. But today, that experience was a terrible one. I wouldn't want to. And I understand now from the angles that I was looking at before, how families treating with this situation. And I know why sometimes they are so silent, because that pain can go, it's not an easy thing to go away, no, Marlon. Because for years you know somebody, and then this comes and happens, young fella, children and all, young children and all. Good one day, and then the next day, that's it. And how do you piece together that, Marlon? It's not to say like it's someone who was ailing, and then you're normal today, you talk, hey, what's going on? That's it. How do you piece together that? What can you say to that family? What can you say?
You know, that's a good point to make. Some sort of committee, I think, should be set up to deal with relatives whose relative has died of COVID. Because COVID has destroyed certain families. I'm seeing on the social media today where 2 young boys have lost their parents. And that is something that is going to be very, very traumatic for the rest of your life. For these young men, for the rest of their lives. And there has to be some cushioning to help persons such as these.
To ease the pain, Marlon?
Right? Yeah. But it has to be some level of constant cushioning, as it were. So it may be financial assistance. It may be counseling. It may be providing some level of guidance, but consistently to persons who would have suffered such trauma in their families. So that is something that I think the authorities must think about. Something has to be put in place to keep these traumatized persons on the correct path.
Yeah. And then I saw today, I saw a wife sitting in a van. And her husband's body is being lowered into a hole. And she's there. And after I went, from a distance, I had a conversation with her from a distance, and I told her that, you know, sometimes if no one could explain this, you could try all you want to.
Yeah.
Nobody could explain this, but at the end of the day, if she don't stay strong, then your children will end up in a position where they could end up anyway. So you have to hold, and not just hold for yourself, but the children is really the next generation of the officer. And he would want them to grow up in the best of ways. So she had to hold strong, but telling her that coming from me, while I will feel the pain because it's my officer and my colleague, I am not sitting in that seat. So you're just trying to ease the pain through conversation. So to avoid all of that, please, go get a shot. If it's a chance, then take it. If it's a way that you're going to stay alive, then do that. Yeah?
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, we're moving on. Can we go to 2 first? Huh? All right, let's go to 2. We do have some interesting videos for you. I'm seeing it is being termed curfew taunters. Let's see what we have in store here. What are we looking at, sir?
Well, just a bunch of stupid men. When the police come, they're running, you see? Because they're outside breaking the curfew for no reason. It's about going out in the streets and letting people call the police and then they're running after. It's a joke, right? They think it's funny. You hear the laughter?
Yeah.
Because they think it's funny. But at the end of the day, look at this here. And then this one. You see that? The police went on one side here.
This is on the priority bus route.
To me, this was the part I couldn't understand. And then when I say certain things, you're all upset. When I say certain things on this program, people become upset. And I shouldn't say it. So I wouldn't say it today. Look at it and judge for yourself. Right? Just look at it and judge for yourself. Because, as my commissioner always say, there is no way we could police stupidity. And to me, there's no bigger stupidity than this. Always trying to test the system. Because the system sometimes is geared to assist them. So it's okay to test it at times. Some of them already know the outcome. That is why it's so comfortable to do it.
This is on the Beetham Highway now.
Yeah, the Beetham Highway.
On the highway now.
See the social media, man. Yeah.
He's on the highway now.
You see the social media? If I had a chance, I'd tell you around particular times like this, I shut it down.
One side a man. Now finish no plate.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Come out here to all the season because we short up all the season and all the pepper and make up all the cook, we making all the soup now. So we just see we take all the rundown. Come on, shop Friday. So we see we not take all the chance.
Like Catholic and Catholic solely order.
I understand we in the wrong. But you're seen by being no criminals.
That is beside the point solely. You're not supposed to be outside.
Amazing, eh? No, I wouldn't say it today. But you judge for yourself, right? You judge for yourself. And then we talk about why we don't go down to the west. That's all that the perfect conversation. Why you don't go down to the west? Why he doesn't go to certain areas and things, but we don't see people behaving like this in certain areas, so the question must be asked. Was I right all along, madam?
Well, speaking about the West, 10 persons were arrested and charged by officers of the Western Division for breach of curfew during anti-crime exercises which were conducted yesterday. All right? In another exercise also, conducted between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. yesterday, officers arrested 3 persons ages 39 to 58, also for breach of curfew. And 26 persons were arrested for partying.
Reflex.
Breach of the public health regulation.
Valsin? Guys, you want to Valsin?
Yeah?
Yeah? Yeah. You see,
The group included 6 Venezuelans.
¿Cómo estás?
They were allegedly partying when they were held.
Flex.
A 38-year-old man at the gathering was also arrested for possession of 0.4 grams of cocaine. The group of men and women ranging in ages from 20 to 40 were expected to be formally charged today.
Let me ask you something.
This happened at Real Spring in Valsey.
Yeah, Real Spring. Let me ask you another question, Mal. You observe that, you can, later on, you could observe, you notice that there's a conversation taking place down in Venezuela concerning the Indian variant.
Variant?
Yeah, the variant.
Yeah.
If that is so. India have seen a very drastic COVID-19 in a way.
Yeah.
So if you're saying that the variant may be down there, and persons jumping out of themselves here, so we will see. Anyhow,
All right.
we're still seeing that type of behavior from our citizens, and it's to me, it speaks to you having no regard for your life or the life of other persons. When you hear 500 and something persons who have died from the 19, and you can still go out there and flex like that and be comfortable, no mask, drink, take bottles, spray things on one another, and all of that. And then you know what you do? Malad, you leave the next day and you go to some place like the grocery or one of the essential services like the drugstore, and you go in and you contaminate persons. And only a couple of days after you realize that you have it. And then there are the persons who are still waiting on results because for one reason or another you may have come into contact with someone with the virus. If you don't get the results, you don't move no more.
Well, listen to this, all right? I just got a text here from a colleague, and here's what the text says. I have a friend who died yesterday from COVID in her 30s. She did not believe in taking the vaccine because the talk was that it go kill you. On her deathbed, after contracting the virus, I was told she was questioned why she didn't give herself a chance by taking the vaccine.
Yeah.
So you're questioning on your deathbed now, why didn't you take the vaccine? Well, I was listening. The police commissioner would have sent out a release, I believe it was yesterday, speaking about the 10 a.m. to 5 a.m. curfew. And he was saying that persons, the reports that he would have gotten was that persons behaved really well,
Yeah.
and persons were very responsible, so there weren't too many matters where police had to respond to and so on. So apparently that 10 a.m. to the 5 a.m. worked well, and persons bought into the idea of staying at home.
And also we came in for a lot of positive conversation with respect to the hot time we have.
Yes.
getting passes and all of that, and the WhatsApp and all of that, we came into for a lot of praises from that system. A number of persons we spoke to today and yesterday would have received a type of service that they never received before, according to them, with respect to the TTPS. So the TTPS have new friends now because of the service they provided over that period yesterday. Yeah? We too, on this program, we have lost a viewer to the COVID-19. She's 76 years old. Yeah, Miss Frank, Cynthia Frank. We understand that she became infected with the virus and she died. We're hoping that all is well with the rest of the family with respect to this situation here. So, again, average year, they say she watches the program nearly every day. You can't speak to her at 5:30 in the evening. So Cynthia Frank, yeah? May God rest her soul.
Yeah. It only takes one slip, eh?
Yeah.
One slip. All right. There was an incident in Port of Spain today.
Yeah. Today, gunshots erupted in the vicinity of Ryson Road, Port of Spain. When we understand a person, a known gang leader from the St. Paul Street area was traveling in a car, when another vehicle came, gunshots erupted, and one man was shot. The other persons escaped. Police officers quickly blocked off a particular area with information. However, no one has been detained just yet. Investigations are continuing into the behavior of the persons involved. We have checked all the technical assistance that we can get to identify the perpetrators. Members of the public, if you see something, you say something. Gang warfare must not be accepted in any community under the form that because they are here, they are protecting us. That statement is one that is confusing you. You're being set up to think that that is the case. It's all about protecting them, really, from law enforcement and from their enemies. It has nothing to do with you. Take that into consideration as you continue to support gang warfare, gang membership in your area. Remember, it's all about them. It has nothing to do with you. So you're just using you to call and say when law enforcement is coming. And that is all. That is all, that is all.
All right. There was a police involved shooting in Barataria?
No, it was not.
Okay.
And this is another thing the social media would have done.
Yes.
The social media, you could just come on your phone again and say what you want, how you want, when you want it. And then the believers runs with it. There was a shooting in Barataria Police District that had nothing to do with the police officer, other than the police came on the scene sometime after. When someone who's known to the police was shot in a car, possibly by friends on the inside. But when you heard the voice note, it said, police shooting in the Barataria area. And then those with malice ran to the media and started to make comments. Only to realize that this shooting here with this man had nothing to do with law enforcement. If I had my way, Marlon, of course, and I told you this time and time again, the social media, there must be some level to regulate that social media. Social media cannot run. It's as easy as this. Marlon, we can spread a rumor in this country and before you know it, cause persons to panic. And if we cause persons to panic, most of the time they injure themselves or they injure other persons because of the social media. So I'm saying, Marlon, I am of the opinion that it should be regularized. Or we need to put some legislation in place to treat with those who spread rumors via the social media.
All right. A 29-year-old man was ordered to have no contact with a 16-year-old girl after appearing before Point Fortis magistrate on 3 sexual charges. He is Ramon Jamil Frederick of Ravine Ranch, Egypt Village, Point Fortin.
Ravine Ranch, eh?
All right.
Yeah.
Ravine Ranch.
Yeah,
okay. All right. If you
prefer
Ravine.
If
you all prefer Ravine Ranch, okay. All right. As part of his bail conditions, which was set at $150,000, he was also instructed to report to his local police station once a week.
All right, let me ask you something.
Yes.
So, situations like this, man charged, 16-year-old, keep your distance, all of that. How are we going to be sure that those instructions are being complied with? Tell me.
There is no way,
Right.
unless you put the bracelet.
What? Oh, you see, and this is what I'm saying. How society they are also twisted. Because I thought the emphasis would have really been on the criminal element. You see? Look, Friday night. It's Friday night? What night we left here? When this man murdered his wife in the home in Malabar. And the information is that there are some court matters pending with respect to that situation. And then when I saw it, I recall the conversation that you and I was having here. And the emphasis is always placed on law enforcement, and you could doubt it if you want to. But where that is concerned, you're telling a man to be of good behavior when there are situations existing in his life that he wants to challenge everything and to get rid of the person who he thinks is causing the pain. But nobody wants to monitor that, I guess. So we always have to wait on the outcome, and the police must now investigate the outcome. Most of the times, it's death. Why do you monitor that?
27-year-old Ryan Bones, also known as Ryan Bowen of First Private Road, Mount Hope. He is charged for the murder of Point Fortin businessman. The Point Fortin businessman is Everall Dublin, 55. He was found by his children at his home with gunshot injuries.
Yeah. You remember this man? The escapee? Time and time again. Every time that he's held, he has a firearm in his possession. You remember that? They put him in the detention center, he escaped. Went to Point Fortin. And there's some lessons to be learned here. Young ladies, there are times that you see something and it looks good. Yeah. But it don't mean that all is well with it. Because we are still finding persons who meet in persons today, Marlon, today, this evening. And as we speak, they just met 4 o'clock and he's already home in the house at 6 minutes past 6. You see? You must be careful with that. However, that situation there, Marlon, we must give some kudos to the Special Operations Response Team for their involvement in that situation there. And also, persons down in the Point Fortin area who had the trust and confidence to give to us since we had the key. Yeah.
You still have the key?
Look it right here, right? And again, it's about the citizens working with the police. So the Special Operations Response Team and the Homicide and Southwestern Division on a whole, hats off to you. What we need to do now is to ensure that justice is served. Yeah?
All right, thank you very much. Let's remind persons of our numbers, 623-1711. The extensions are 1992, 1993, 1996, and 1997. And if you want to contact SORT, you can do so at 485-9302. You are to text. Don't call to ask for the superintendent or anyone. You are to text at 485-9302. Also, you can text the police commissioner at 482-4279. We are going to a very short break. We'll be right back.
Why do normal when you can do better than normal with a hassle-free loan from Island Finance? Lines, staycations, gaming. Do it all better than normal. Apply for your loan online and get a response in 1 minute. Only with Island Finance.
Trinidad Cement Limited joins the call for us to be safe. The rise in cases demands that we stay at home. And if you must leave home, wear a mask. Always maintain proper physical distancing. Avoid gatherings. Constantly wash hands or sanitize. Ensure family members remain responsible. With discipline and personal responsibility, we can do this together. TCL says, TNT, let's reverse the trend.
All right, welcome back.
Well, this was the topic of conversation for the weekend. Everybody was asking, what is going on here? What is going on here? What is going on here? Here, right here. No. We were seeing this. And yeah, what is very strange here, Mona? Sometimes, you know, when we are mischievous, we do things, right? Now, if you're saying what you're saying here and you had a video, you're macroing, I don't know what you was doing there at the time. How come you give me a vehicle number? Tell us. Tell us, tell us. But
if the persons are at this angle,
right,
and they're hiding behind a tree,
right,
you want them to come out and so that they would
so
be seen and the persons would stop what they're doing?
Well, what was going on here that you think would have offered some level of threat to them if they were just walking about the road normal? Tell me.
You don't think if those persons
did I leave anybody on the ground, or if
they would have left?
And then
that's my feeling.
No, up to now, nobody have identified where this was.
Well, maybe after today they will.
Well, we'll see. Tell us where this is. Now, a lot of information came to the police yesterday about this situation here. Right? Now, look at this. That look like a body there?
I don't know, sir.
Right. So.
But I'm not going to say that it is not a body.
Right. So what we will ask members of the public to do, let us change the game on it then. Since you insist that you want us to investigate in a particular way, members of the public who have information about this, let us know. Give us that information and let us treat to this. Because this is very strange though. Men in the bush, watching this, straight up in the bush. What else doing in the bush, Jamal?
So, That is
Malala,
not,
the police,
sir,
by the way,
sir,
hold
that
on.
is not my concern.
Malala, the police are supposed to accept it.
You can ask that, but that is not my concern. What
I ain't
three
seen a
men
fruit
doing
tree.
on a tree in the bush?
I ain't seen a
Try them
fruit tree.
business.
I ain't seen a fruit tree.
However, my feeling is, if what the gentlemen, what they are saying is true,
Tell me.
then that act has to be investigated. And I don't know if, for persons who did not see the video and didn't hear the audio of the video, the claim is that those gentlemen over there in the white van, they are dumping dead bodies.
Right.
That's the claim. So I don't want to know what tree man doing in a tree. They could be sucking mango. They could be doing what? That is not my
I want to
concern.
know
My
if this
concern
is
is
if
this.
If this is a cemetery of some kind.
Okay. However, persons who are in the funeral industry have seen this. And they're saying that there is nowhere that bodies,
Can't do that.
no, that bodies should be disposed of in this way. They're saying that bodies must be enclosed.
Yeah.
All right?
Wrapped together. When I say wrapped, like a casket or something?
Yes.
Oh.
It must be enclosed. You cannot throw a body on top of a body to build to build a mass grave. That's what we're seeing there from the video. That's what persons have said.
But not in this country.
I'm not giving my position. I'm just saying this from persons in the funeral industry who have seen this. That is their claim. That if, in fact,
we
these
need
are bodies,
confirmation.
it should not be disposed of in this way.
Well, we need confirmation, Malala.
Yes.
And if it's confirmation, we need, well, then let us get that confirmation from those involved there or members of the public. Tell us where this location is. I will carry some dogs and dig it up. You know?
I think you should.
So, anybody with information about this situation here, you can contact the SWOT phone. Now. All right? Contact the SWOT phone now and tell us where this place is and possibly the people involved, if you know. If you don't know, because I'm seeing to the back, Jackie, let's go back to my. I'm seeing a pink-ish house in the back. You notice that? You see that? So somebody must know where this is.
Yeah.
See that pinkish house to the back? So if that pink house man has a television and watching now at this time, let us know what's happening here.
But to a serious-minded person, how does that look to you?
Yeah.
Doesn't that look strange?
When I saw it, it disturbed me somewhat. But when I was listening to the conversation, I was not totally impressed.
Is it that persons dump bread this way, milk this way, wood this way, bricks this way?
Well, I didn't know if it was a vet
Okay,
team
all right.
and they are dumping dead dogs.
Okay, but you're going to wrap them up in
linen.
material that
In
looks
linen.
like upholstery or linen? That's the way you dump dogs?
Well, I don't
But
know.
let's
Malala,
find
we
out.
don't know. So now I say, look, members of the public, listen, this is an opportunity for all of us to learn from this, to find out about this, so then we could put an end to this. Because persons were saying so many things that we want the right story. We need the facts.
All right, let's go to a break. Let's go.
Do you have cancer? Chances are you need a PET CT scan. A normal CT scan can miss over 50% of cancer cases and miss critical details for your treatment. For almost the same cost as a whole body CT scan, you can get a full body PET CT scan. Be smart. Be sure. Tell your doctor you want a PET CT scan.
it's 2?
Welcome back. Yeah.
2 shots?
Yeah.
When I go back for yours?
Next month. But I can tell you, when I go for mine, there will be no such picture on social media grimacing in pain. Grimacing in pain.
Grossing?
Grimacing.
No, man, I told you. You see, you don't understand. I am a person who just listen. And then the nurse told me, listen.
To twist up your face
She
and
said,
run.
No. She didn't say that.
Play your running, twist up your face.
She said, think about a harsh reality. And I did like this. Because I was thinking things, Marlon Hopkinson.
Oh,
I was thinking
my
things.
word.
You see, you wouldn't understand.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Have you ever given blood?
What?
It's looking like I'm bringing out all sorts of skeletons here this evening.
Marlon, this is
You've ever given
Marlon, let me tell you
blood?
something. Let me be honest. You see some of them needle, boy?
But what is this?
Marlon, listen, some of them
Gentlemen,
needle.
don't say no more. Don't say no more. Don't say no more.
No. If I needle long so, like this, Marlon, that will come to my and come under my shoulder, right?
Go the producer put up. that is the actual vial and needle.
Marlon, what's that? Man, look how long that thing is, like. Marlon, just a little, Marlon, it's not a problem, boy. I just have a little phobia for the needle, boy.
The dog of war has turned to the puppy of war.
Marlon, that needle, listen. Marlon, it's like small, you know. Marlon, you remember a long time when you go to school, they said bring the vaccination in school for you?
Yes, I remember that.
Boy.
You didn't used to go to school that day.
Nah, there was some issues. I always had a little issue with the needle.
Yeah.
And then someone would ask me, I don't know how you have issues with a needle and you can do the tattoos thing.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's a good point, but you see, Marlon, listen to this. Tattooing, you see that thing there? You're coming, huh?
All right, next time we'll have the news going.
Yeah.
That may be easier.
I asked the nurse, I said, nurse, oh, that tablet.
You're making matters worse. You know.
Oh, my word.
Let's move
All right,
on. Let's move on.
Let's go. Where are we going to? Yeah, wanted persons. Whole weekend gone. Holiday came and gone. Another one approaches us. And Christopher didn't come. So now we must ask members of the public to locate Christopher for us. He and Elcock. Yeah, and Thomas. We need information about their whereabouts. Because if we're giving them ample time to come in, ample time, you know, Villafana, ample time to come in, and you're not coming, then we have to do the next thing. You want us to come inside by you, knock on your door, come for you, throw the kit on you, the white clothes, put on a mask on you, and leave with you. All because you refuse to surrender to the police for outstanding warrants. Yeah? So anybody with information, you can call the nearest police station, 555-800 tips. If the person seen himself on the program, you know where the warrant is, you could also call the warrant officer and tell him you're coming in tomorrow. He'll wait for you, have the warrant executed on you, and thereafter, all should be well. If anybody surrendered before the airing of this program and still see themselves on this program, then the warrant officer will contact us and tell us, so we'll have you removed. Right, Sheldon? We have given persons the opportunity also, not for arms and ammunition, but for maintenance to communicate with the warrant officer. Persons are asking, if the warrant was executed and it's still showing up on the system, then it could be the fault of the police. Yeah? Because they should have had it removed. However, don't tell us that you paid or it was already executed, and when we check, we are not seeing anything like that. The warrant officer still has the warrant in his possession. So you lie and tell somebody that the warrant was already executed because you're probably ashamed, only to realize that it was never executed on you. So before all of that happened, Marlon Ford, Awong, Balcon, whole team, Francis, Smith. I wonder, anybody's information again. You placed it slow on the cream. Go back to that one. Let me see something, Jackie. Let me explain that. See what's happening here? Outstanding warrants, FI warrants, for possession of firearm and ammunition. It means that from the time I see you, I must arrest you in the first instance.
Because the perception is, sir, that this gentleman is armed. That's the perception, right?
Yeah, any perception. Most of the times, persons with this kind of offenses, from what we have seen and we understand repeat offenders, we have seen it on this program time again. We believe that those persons will be armed and dangerous. Yeah? Some time ago I said to members of the public, do not go trying to hold anybody or arrest anybody, especially if I say that they are armed and dangerous. Now there are exceptions to the rules. There may be law enforcement officers or able-bodied men who believe for some reason they could disarm someone and detain them, making a citizen arrest if they are not law enforcement officers. We have no problem with that. Yeah? But remember, there's a risk involved, and the risk might be your life.
You know, sometimes when I see the this wanted segment, sometimes I remember Barry P.
Yeah.
So he would have seen a gentleman on Beyond the Tape, and he went for the Barry P. For those who don't know, he was a warrant officer.
Yeah.
And he went for the individual, and then he calls me and he says, Marlon, I got the man. I said, what man? He said, the man on the wanted segment. He said, the only problem is now, I don't know what to do with the truck with bread. I said, truck with bread?
He was driving a truck with bread at the time.
Driving a truck with bread,
this is the risk involved, you know?
Yeah?
Yeah. A man is going down the road, he has his family in the car. His entire family probably never told him that he had a warrant for firearm ammunition, for rape, something. And then the police pounce on him, take possession of him. The woman cannot drive the car. The children is in the car. The police have a response. We can't leave them there. So we will ask someone to come who they probably would know, and then they tell you, well, they're not from up here. The family live in Cedras and they in Port of Spain.
Yeah.
So what we do, we bring them to the station, put them sit down there until someone could assist them to go home.
Yeah.
Inconvenience, eh?
All right. Thank you very much. We are going to a very short break. We'll be right back.
Imagine country living with modern amenities. Welcome to Buakanu Park by DG Homes. Make your dream come true. Call 721-9186 or 379-8990.
Introducing the Sugar Bear Gummy family for healthy hair. Eat the Blue Bear, formulated with essential vitamins like biotin, folic acid, and vitamin D for total body care. Eat the Pink Bear, formulated with omega-3 and essential vitamins for all natural sleep support. Eat the Purple Bear, formulated with melatonin, lemon balm leaf, passion flower, and valerian root. Vegan, gluten, and gelatin free. Available at pharmacies nationwide. Distributed by Civic Distributors.
Hi, I'm Marcel, and thanks to Nirvana Weight Loss Clinic, I lost 69 pounds 3 years ago. Now I'm brimming with energy, glowing with radiance and the self-confidence, and life has a brand new meaning, and I still enjoy my new body image. Thanks, Nirvana.
All right, welcome back.
Right. Well, I've seen some information coming in, so we will check. We will check. And again, members of the public, if you keep sending me information, I mean, we'll check it because it's a concern for you, so it's a concern for us. At the end of the day, you know, if you could get the information, clear it up, because it might not be what it seems. All right, so we're asking members of the public to help us with that. Yeah? Ready? You ready?
Persons of interest.
Yeah. Today, Marlon of concern. Today, same old behavior. Take a look at this. And the strange thing is that how they just come in on the phone. They always on the phone. Right? That is the thing. When they come in on the phone. Right. And you just know, you know, if you're inside these areas, you just know something about to go down, you know. You know they're looking for nothing. Look. He don't pull it down, go on in there. You know the intention when they enter the door. From the time you look at them, sometimes you just know. It's called keen powers of observation, Marlon. You ain't possessed that yet. You have to be a police. You have a little thing, but you ain't much. You are shooting vibes. Look. You see? Marlon, so this is how it unfolds here, you see? Marlon, whether you like it or not, and when I say it, they don't like it. So I wouldn't say it this evening, as I told you before. I will leave it, let you see it yourself, and judge for yourself who is who. Yeah? You don't want to work a day in your life. You just want to come and take. So the watchman is at the door. You see that? The watchman is at the door, and the other persons are performing. And let me share this with members of the public too. Sometimes you'll be surprised. How can a man walk from the outside into your business place, walk down to the back, go in a box, and find your money one time, man? How does that happen? Tell us.
Inside knowledge.
Oh. Yep. So when they finish, they just jump in the TIDA. And you pong them down? Well, all right. You're ponging them down. We have to see some people. We need to see some people. We need to see some people. It seems to me one way is the only way. Anybody with information, you can call in the nearest police station, 555-800 tips. Call in 999 police emergency line. Hit us up on the app. This is the getaway gate man. The getaway gate man. He will take that gate and sell that gate just as it is in a Malon. And another man purchased that gate because it's already a ready-made gate in it. Look.
What a gate make out of, boy?
I don't know. I say that, I mean, aluminum.
Something?
I can't believe, unless, as I said before, you possess pipish ways and strength.
A gate make out of foil.
Yeah, it's made out of foil.
Yeah. Oh.
Members of the public, this is amazing, isn't it? When I say amazing, you know, sometimes you watch and wonder. And look, the new thing. When they reach to the front, just stop, Jack. You just bring them to the front. Always inside somebody's home. Always inside somebody's house. Always trying to thief. Corn should have passed. Corn should have passed here. Because you're always inside people's house. Nobody invited you. Your intention is to steal, rob, rape, chop, murder. That's all it is. What is your excuse for being inside person's home? You do not live there. The person didn't invite you there. And when members of the public retaliate in a particular way, comment after comment. This is the homeboy, because he likes person's home. I think he went for something to eat, eh? He looking so good, anyhow. Anybody with information, you can call the nearest police station, 555-800 tips. Call the 999 police emergency line. Hit us up on the app. Person still calling the COVID hotline and asking questions about the COVID and what they could and could not do. We are glad that we could provide that service to you. But that service too is not for you to abuse. It is not for you to abuse because people are asking some of the funniest questions I understand. It's like calling the 999 line and asking the operator which bakery open.
During the curfew?
Yeah. Okay. Which bakery open, sir? Yeah. I don't understand. Someone said that they call the 999 line and they are asking the operator if she could just talk to him. About what, sir? I just want somebody to talk to. He's lonely. We don't mind talking to you, but remember, while you are lonely and feeling a certain type of way, there are persons trying to rob, rape, steal, shoot, enter persons' homes without their consent, and all of that. So while we're talking to you, we're keeping the line. We're blocking the line. And you wants company. If you want company, bad up. Because the last time I said a pig, it didn't go so well. So, if you want company, buy a dog. And stop calling the 999 line. That is not for that. An emergency is happening. Sir, I just observed 2 men enter my neighbor's home. He is not there. Give them the location. And then we're having this issue about the conversation, too much questions being asked by the persons who take in the information. While that might seem so, we need to know if the information is in fact genuine. We will ask questions, well, sure. We should ask questions that could help us to prevent or solve the crime. Yeah? So members of the public, that is what you need to do. Stay focused on what is happening around you and your neighborhood. I told you to join together now. Well, I'm watching something in Amalan. I'm watching something. COVID has killed over 500 people. Now, are you still gangstering your neighbor for a piece of land?
Of course they are.
Yeah. Because if you die from COVID, or COVID, however you want to call it, you know what's going to happen? The only piece of land that you will have is enough to fit your box with your body. And the only memory we'll have of you is your picture. So all the land you fight for, you have nothing to show. You don't even have $5 in your pocket. And if they bury it a gold chain, them fellas so devious now, they'll dig up your grave and take that and pawn it. So, I am wondering if we are still having issues with neighbors and neighbors. I wonder if the man is still parking the van in front of the people's home, the truck.
I'm sure he is.
You think so? Mm-hmm. That should be a thing of the past because with this COVID, and here the strange thing, If your neighbor get COVID and you didn't know, and you and the neighbor arguing by the gate that separates you all, and all you're calling and spitting on one another, and next you know, both of you lie down in the hospital side and side to side with each other. You think all you will speak now if all you feel you're all on the last hour? You think they'll have a conversation, Marlon? So both are in hospital and the two houses empty home. That making sense? What is the argument for? When you see people dying that easy, Marlon, of course, there's no room for mistakes. There's always that. There's no room for errors. You know? Before you know it, you was here. You know? And someone said today, not even the best among us could have a decent funeral. Not even the best.
It makes all of us equal.
Yeah, it equalizes the place. You know?
Yeah.
Poor man, rich man, fat man, skinny man. Same thing.
One of the greatest equalizers of
yeah,
all time.
Equal the place. All the things. And here the strange thing. The private nursing home, are they accepting COVID patients?
I'm not sure.
Right. If not, well, then you had to come in the same place all the poor man have to go.
Of course.
So you line up by Cora, or under the tent. So you're on that tent, but you have money in your pocket, right? You had money, right? There's a top shutter. You have money. But the COVID equalize you and put you among the poor. And when they bury you like a dog. Yeah? So show off and downplay people and say all kind of thing about them if you want to. I have known for years and I've seen it. Sickness draw no lines between men. Yeah? Let's go.
You have about a minute again. A minute
still
or
up?
two. Yeah?
Well, all right. Today, a lady called and asked me to say this on the program. She said that her husband of 55 years died of COVID. They never used to go anywhere. They would have gone to the grocery or stuff and come home and they would have put everything necessary to stay. But she have a granddaughter who can't stay home. She's a wood warrior. So even in the 19, she finding space and things to duck and bob and weave. And when she cannot go home for some reason that exists there, she comes by the grandparents to spend the night. So she brought the virus at the grandparents' residence after she was tested positive. She is still at the hospital. Grandfather is dead. And the lady now is saying, well, Alexander, I have nothing to live for. Better I die too.
That's an unforgivable act, yeah?
Boy,
unforgivable. Because I always say, we are not immune to the virus. And I could understand if someone was doing everything possible.
And it happened.
And it happened. I
So
understand that. Mistakes happen.
Yeah, but you're a go-getter.
You can't be
He's a go-getter.
Yeah. And zessing and liming and all of the other INGs. And you bring that home to a family member and they die. That is unforgivable.
So like she couldn't go home sometimes back to where she lived by the parents because that might be unacceptable. So she will duck in by the grandparents to spend the night and probably say later on, well, I was there all night. You see? And now, grandfather is gone. She's in the hospital, and then you have your grandmother thinking life is not worth nothing.
Wow. Let's go to a break. We're coming back. Think about it.
Secu Credit Union continues to serve with safety while supporting your expectations and caring for you. Access our online services today. Relax and drive a new vehicle with a no down payment loan. Sign up for a COVID-19 relief loan, or you can borrow up to 3 times your share value, even getting up to $55,000 unsecured. Our comprehensive medical plan provides you and your family with medical protection, home or abroad, 24/7 with affordable monthly premiums. Come in or call us at 226-SECU for more information. Conditions apply.
It's a good time to subscribe to the Trinidad Express newspapers. During these times, our newspapers are available to you wherever you are. Subscribe today and get 33% off your print subscription with delivery to your doorstep. No need to leave your home when your newspaper is coming to you. If you're a smart device lover, sign up today and get full access to the e-paper on all your devices. Visit digital.trinidadexpress.com or download the app today. The Trinidad Express newspapers continues to provide credible news, business stories, features, SCA practice tests, puzzles, and more, all to keep you occupied. So what are you waiting for? Call us today and subscribe to the Express, the national newspaper of Trinidad and Tobago.
Welcome back. You know, the TEMA, the Tobago Emergency Management Authority, has confirmed that the boat that fishermen would have found last week with the decomposing bodies, that boat came from Mauritania.
That's a far place?
It's very far, all right? So you'll hear a little more about it in the news. How it came? By the currents, I suspect.
That is a far place.
Yeah. But there was another incident recently where persons would have left another country and was trying to make their way into the US. And they were turned away. And those persons had no food or water on the vessel. And the boat with the dead bodies showed up in another country some days later. So it's persons trying to flee their homes, I suspect, for a better way of life as it relates to other countries, and situations like these happen. We have a call. Good evening, caller. Caller, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead, say you're live on air.
Good evening to you, Marlon. Good evening, Superintendent.
Good evening, sir.
I want to compliment you both and the backroom staff on the production of this daily program.
Hi, Jackie.
I have no doubt a lot of effort goes into it. The program is a source of education, a source of crime prevention, and it has a little entertainment value. I particularly like the start and the mood of the program today. But my one comment, though, is that I would want to think that your program is more to change the criminal behavior of individuals rather than to serve as a public relations for the TTPS. And if we want to change behavior, there might be need for some slight adjustments to your approach. So I suggest you invite a criminologist or a psychologist on your program from time to time to deal with some relevant issues. And lastly, when persons call in with a perceived outer timing or offbeat comment or question, still thank them. Go on to answer them appropriately to the best of your knowledge, but more importantly, respond respectfully. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir, and thanks for your contribution. Yeah?
Thank you very much, sir.
You know, with the constraints, we are trying as much as possible. We're hoping that after this period, so we'll start back the guests. After this period, we'll try to bring back some of the guests. It's difficult now because we don't want to bring anybody here and then they leave here and then something happens. Or we bring someone here and then they interfere. The two injection men here. So as soon as things kind of ease down, so we'll start to bring some guests. I mean, it's a good idea. We can bring some criminologists and some.
Yeah, what I will say is that, and I'm responding to his second statement, we always want to hear from our viewers. We always want to hear their views. We always want to debate with them.
Yeah.
We have absolutely
Nothing
no
personal.
problem with that.
Yeah.
But we do have a problem if persons are disrespectful.
Yeah.
My feeling is we are not disrespectful to persons until they are disrespectful to us.
Yeah, yeah.
All right? I don't know. I'm not cut from that cloth, you know. Who want to turn the other side of the cheek and all kind of foolishness, they could do that.
Yeah.
But if you're called to attack us and, and demean people, then we're not going to stand
We
for
have attack in us.
You're telling me?
Yeah. We'll tag team on you, know.
What? When we do, it's two
Good
pit
evening,
bull, you
brother.
know. It's two pit bull.
Tag team on you.
We at least one pit bull.
Yeah.
That one get injection.
Good
I don't know
evening.
what him. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Marlon.
Hey, look who, boy.
Look who.
Look
Mr.
who.
Alexander.
Sir.
Mr. Marlon, I want to say that, you know, again, I love the math that you have there, and I think that you should order one for Mr. Alexander there, because he fidgets a lot with his, you know. I don't know if you noticed and look to your right a little bit.
Yeah.
Mr. Marlon?
Yeah.
He fidgets a little with his math, but I miss his smile as well, Marlon.
He's a
So we
fidgety
need to,
fella.
Yeah.
He's a fidgety fella. When he sees
but
needles,
Mr.
he gets
Alexander,
nervous.
I appreciate the fact that you are man enough to talk about your issues with the needle.
Yeah.
You know, that is admirable. And a lot of men out here, they don't, you know what I'm saying, they have to be all this macho. Not everybody could, you know, face any and everything.
I don't like that needle thing.
Yes?
I don't like
But
that
one
needle
thing, two things I just wanted to, I'm not hearing you so well, but you're hearing me good.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Two things I just wanted to bring up quickly is, Mr. Marlon Alexander, what's the first thing that the bank would tell you to do when you have a PIN? When you have a PIN protected card, one of the first things they will tell you about that PIN is what?
Secure it.
Yeah.
Secure it and don't
share the number.
disclose it to anyone. Yes?
Yes.
To anyone as a measure, because if you do that, it would be against the policy of the bank, and they would not honor whatever it is you're saying that you're disputing, that it's not your 10,000 spend and so on. Yes, one of these advertisements, and I think that the TTPS could probably, you know, throw a little advice or remind them. One of these banks actually advertising that her husband was tracked. She gave her husband her PIN, Marlon, and she was able to track her husband, Marlon, because she used the card. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
She used the card here and used the card there, so she was able to see all where he went. And I think that we should be a little more responsible, especially if the bank knows that they wouldn't honor such a thing. Even your spouse or your girlfriend, your boyfriend is not somebody to disclose your PIN with. Yes?
What?
Very good.
And quickly, one other thing. In this COVID spirit, I wouldn't like, I don't feel good to bring this message, but imagine today I entered a certain drugstore, Mr. Marlon and Alexander, and today with people dying, one of the workers there cracked one of the Coke cans, took a drink of it, and you know what he did? He opened the slide, opened those ice cream thing, you know, the sliding ones that you bend over and you take out the ice cream and so on. He put the open can into there so that it would remain cold and slide back. This is a public drugstore.
Yeah.
So somehow we still not getting the message over to people. You see those things that you do in your house? Please, keep it there. When people are around us, we need to be as hygienic as possible.
I agree with
So
you.
sorry to end on that kind of note, but we need to wake up people still. I don't know how to tell that big man that, sir, you cannot take something, crack it open, and then put the can, I'm talking about a can, an open can, inside of a refrigerator for public to use like that.
Thank you.
So I think I should go further to report that as well. Wow. But nonetheless, a good program, as per usual, and keep that smile under the mask, Marlon, but we need to paint one on that big mask you have there.
You have a big mask?
Take care.
No, it's a carnival that he's experiencing that he cannot have. So that is why he has this big mask. He's thinking about carnival, but it ain't happening.
You think that band leaders are going to say to persons, to show me your immunization card
before
you
registration.
register.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But there may be a problem with that, eh? You think? Maybe a problem.
And again,
I'll leave that to you all. Discuss.
Discuss.
They ain't discussing
it at all. Discuss what?
Discuss.
As a new mom, there are moments of pride, joy, and doubt. Yes, doubt. Has he slept enough? Does she have everything that she needs? Will she be okay in the sun? These doubts come from love. For the good of baby, 2 servings of Nestum are full of all the goodness and naturalness of the cereals that your baby needs to blossom. That's one less thing to worry about. Nestum, it's all good, Mom.
Learn more online with Nestle Baby and Me.
Fight COVID-19 in your home, office, or facility. Electrostatic disinfection services guaranteed to kill COVID-19 on contact. Contact Plumbing Solutions Sanitization Division today at 360-8406.
Welcome back.
Sometimes Marlon, you go through life and you meet people, you have an impact on their life. Don't matter, especially the younger ones, you know. Someone was telling me today I should try some other thing, but the timing is not possible. So you have an impact, or you make an impact, or cause an impact into the life of someone, sometimes a youth, yeah, who probably going down a particular road, but after conversation you could, according to them, people fix him, bring him back, shape him, mentor him, put him back on the road now, because he probably just skid off for a minute. And I promised a young man today that if he continued to listen and understand the importance of his parents, I was going to say hello to him today. And I understand that he did well. So good evening, Gabriel, my friend. And remember, if this continues every Friday, as long as I'm here, I will say good evening to you. And then one of these days, you and I will take a picture so you can give all your friends to see that you are my friend. Okay? Be on.
Why don't you give him the one with the nurses?
Huh?
The nurses? But seriously, something has to be done, and this is for the Ministry of Health, when it comes to persons receiving their results from the COVID tests.
Waiting too long.
That period is just too long. And in some cases, 2 weeks have expired, and persons are still waiting for the results. Look, I have a situation here where someone has tested positive, and at that time, the members of the family, the relatives, were promised that they would be tested, and nothing has happened. So now you have an entire family in quarantine. Nobody knows if they are infected by the virus. So what is the situation? So something has to be done with getting those results to persons, and in a consistent way. It can't be a phone call and then an email and then no call. Something has to be done. We understand that you all are overworked, you know. But it may mean, I don't know, putting in more lines again to contact persons.
All right. Marlon, remember I told you today, there are some persons who are waiting on results.
Yes.
But the quarantine period has ended, you know, almost.
Yes.
Like they have like one more day and things. So the question is, if you don't receive that result, I don't think, well.
Then what to do?
That's what I said, because then your employers are waiting on you.
Yes.
Yeah? And what are you going to do? Are you going to come out? And next thing when you come out, then they call you and say, hey, you're positive, you know?
Yeah.
What are you going to do then? So then you would have caused, when you come out, you'd have caused now to infect everybody. So then the whole place is shut down for a 14 as the case is. You see? So I hearing you with the time frame, it is really too long. They need to shorten up that as much as possible. But then again, man, the amount of persons who
I know.
Who will be testing and things, I know there's a burden on the Ministry of Health at this time. And all this could have been avoided if we just listened.
So your employer telling you to come out.
Yeah.
But then they're telling you, you can't come back unless you have verification from the ministry or the health center that you don't have COVID, you know. So what is your predicament? And then you're home in quarantine for 14 days. So who is going to go out there to purchase food for you or drink or medicine or something of the sort?
And I think
what do you do?
Some people are really exploiting their employees into it, man, because I'll tell you this. There are persons who know that they could do a proper job virtually.
Yeah.
Everybody is there, you can monitor them virtually, you do your thing. They are asking you to come in, but for what purpose really? They are asking you to come in to see you. Can you do the job virtually? And if so, why not? There are some places that it could be done and some it cannot. But at the end of the day, it is all said and done. Now, warfare in Port of Spain. And for those who think in it,
20 seconds.
Reconsider it. The warfare now. Reconsider it. That's all I say.
Repeat tonight, 11:30. We run tomorrow morning at 9:30. But news comes up next. Virtual, or you like virtual? All of that coming to an end just now. Go take your vaccine.
Take your vaccine and go to work.
Yeah. Virtual will become virtual just now. Go ahead.